We're live, guys. We're live, guys. Live. Right, okay. The sun's not in my face yet. So let me just warm up my other coffee. Give you guys a chance to latch on. So I've been working on my wife's car. So as usual. So let me just warm this up a minute. Let's just get some hot water here. Okay. Just let that boil a minute. Put my phones over here ready. I know obviously it takes you guys a few minutes to start realizing that I'm live. Okay, my wife's in the other room doing wrapping Preslays. So yeah, I spent the whole morning messing around with my wife's car, which is obviously I must do it. So how are we? The sun's coming out, so I'm going to start looking like a ghost, which always happens. Okay, let's get these coffees warmed up. Let's put some honey in the coffee to make it taste a bit nicer. We need some honey, guys. We need some honey. Tell them about the honey in the morning. I know a lot of you, it's Christmas time, you're busy. You're getting presents, getting ready for Christmas. So I completely understand. Pretty hectic time. Okay, that looks good. We'll have you can be for later, and you can be for now. Let's put the lid on this. Right, I'm set. Okay, so it's going to take a little while for you guys to latch on. I'm not expecting loads of you because of Christmas. So what I'm going to do, it's Defending Elvis Presley, fans want the truth. We're just going to start reading the prologue, the introduction of this book, From Here to the Great Unknown. Fantastic book that Lisa finished and asked Riley to finish. Okay, guys, I got my coffee ready. Now, YouTube have said I have to be careful that I don't read it word for word. I've got to make it my own. I've got to add my own twist to it. I'm listening to YouTube. I don't want to take anyone else's content without. I want to do things the right way. I'm going to follow the rules. It's fine. I don't mind it at all. Right. So we read the front, the back. We read the inside cover. We read the inside of the back. So we're now going to act. We are treating this book as if we just received it. Now, 100% we are on a mission at the moment to demand justice for Lisa Marie against the alleged sexual abuse of Michael Edwards. We demand that he is arrested and questioned, or at least the other way around, taken in and questioned, and then maybe arrested. Hi, Lisa, how we going? We're doing the introduction of this book, From Here to the Great Unknown. How are you? I've been busy working on my wife's car, so my hands are a bit dirty. I scratched myself up a bit here. So I'm just going to go through this book as if we just received it through the post. I am going to touch on all these books. I am going to go through them. I am. We're going to do them a bit at a time. We're not in a rush. So if you haven't got this book, it gives you just an overview. I'm going to read these poems. So the Bluebird. I'll put them on here so that you get a feel for them. If you want a sort of photo screen of, hi Karen. Ayisa, I haven't read your email, no, and thank you very much. Thank you, Ayisa. Delivery tomorrow. It's very kind of you. I appreciate any of you guys sending me stuff or buying me a coffee or doing the super thank you. It's very, very kind. Any of you. It's very, very kind. When you lot send me gifts, I just spend it on the wife and the kids. It's not for me, it's for the wife and the kids. So a few of you have sent Christmas gifts for the kids. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. A couple of you asked me to buy chocolates for the kids, sent me some money for that. Thank you very much. 100% I will. I think Linda was one. There's a few more of you that have done that. It's very, very kind. Hi, Cherie. Oh, Carolyn's here as well. Hi, Carolyn. So, in case, because you've just arrived, we're going to start reading this book as if it has just come through the post. So remember, we want justice for Lisa Marie. That is the whole point of us going through this book. Yeah. And thank you for all the kind messages I've had from you. I've had quite a few very lovely messages from you last night and this morning. Supportive messages. Thank you. Hi, Kathy. You got my message then? Right. I'm going to read the Bluebird section of this. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say, stay in there. I'm not going to let anybody see you. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I pour whiskey on him and inhale cigarette smoke. And the whores and the bartenders and the grocery clerks never know that he's in there. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him, I say. Stay down. Do you want to mess me up? You want to screw me up. You want to screw up the works. You want to blow my book sales in Europe. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too clever. I only let him out at night times. When everybody's asleep, I say, I know that you're there, so don't be sad. And then I put him back. He snuggles. No, he's singing a little, but he's singing a little in there. I haven't quite let him die. And we sleep together like that with our secret pact. And it's nice enough to make a man weep, but I don't weep. Do you? Charles Bukowski. Right, so this section is called the Preface. I'm going to try and read it and stop and say some things so we don't upset YouTube, okay? So remember, this is just a review. A review is just a review. Hi, Linda. Two Lindas, both Lindas. Obviously, you guys know that I'm a terrible reader, so I'll just give it a go. This is the Preface. We've already done this before, but I want to do it again. So the intention is to read a bit of the Preface and read bits of chapter 1. Let's just see how we get on, guys. We're a bit in Christmas mode here now. We're sort of, everything's calming down. This is the last day of school for the kids. My wife's in the lounge doing Christmas presents, wrapping. I think many of you out there, Team Elvis, are in Christmas mode, doing the shopping, getting the food in, the treats, the presents, Christmas shopping, wrapping. You know, it's a busy time for all of us, isn't it? Christmas, everything changes. But for me, Christmas is very special. It's very, very special. It's a very, Definitely, of course, because Yasmin is only 8 and Tino is only 4, that makes it even more special because they see Christmas differently. The old, the teenagers, they see it's different, but I think they still like it as well. Right, in the years, so this is the preface. Okay, guys. Now, remember, part of why we're reading this is because we feel that this book has been forgotten. So we're reading this to just refresh people. Don't forget, I've had a lot of messages from different people saying, please don't forget the book From Here to the Great Unknown. We must keep Lisa's words out there. Riley finished this book so that the world can listen to Lisa. Riley even said this book felt like a phone conversation. When she was listening to the tapes of her mother, it felt like she was on the phone to her mum. And I find that beautiful, beautiful. Right, let's have a look. In the years before she died, my mother, Lisa Marie Presley, began writing her memoir. Though she tried various approaches and sat for many book interviews, she couldn't figure out how to write about herself. Now, guys, I didn't know that Lisa was writing a memoir. Did any of you? I definitely did not know. She didn't find herself interesting. See, even that surprises me. She didn't find herself interesting. I think Lisa Marie is one of the most interesting people I've ever known. Even though, of course, she definitely was, guys. She didn't like talking about herself. She was insecure, and we've realized this through reading the book. She wasn't sure what her value to the public was other than being Elvis's daughter. And, she was in his shadow, wasn't she? But I don't think she realized that I know obviously she knew how much the fans loved her, but I don't think she realized that she actually had an impact on the world. She had a world presence, I think. And, I know that she struggled with this being in the shadow of her father. I know she struggled with it, but I think she made peace with it. I think as she got older, she embraced the fact that she was just like her dad. The way she looked, the way she acted, her mannerisms. She was definitely talented. And I think eventually she learned to blend it. She learned to not fight against it and to embrace it and be proud of it. So, I mean, she was always proud of it, but I think she wanted to create Lisa Marie Presley. This is how I do things. I've watched many interviews with Lisa where she's trying to do her own thing. She's trying to carve out her own style, the rock chick. And she actually did her singing career quite late in life, didn't she? She was in her 30s. So I think eventually she found a way and she had a lot of success. But when we see the duets with Elvis that she did, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. She was so racked with self-criticism that working on the book became incredibly difficult for her. I think she was very insecure. I think she was very self-critical, wasn't she, guys? So Karen says Lisa had low self-esteem. Yeah, you can tell. I think you can see it in the interviews. When I watch Lisa being interviewed, I get a real sense of she's worried what she may say could be taken the wrong way. I think she does want the public, the fans, to accept her and like her, even though they always did. I think her insecurities, you could see it on her face, maybe slightly nervous, but also quite cocky and funny. So I think Lisa's body language was actually very easy to read. There was obviously a lot going on up here with Lisa. I don't think she fundamentally understood how or why her story should be told. Obviously, we know why, don't we, guys? You know, it's Elvis's only daughter. Come on. And yet she felt a burning desire to tell it. I always say this. We all grew up with Lisa. Many of us here that have been fans for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We grew up, didn't we? Come on. We grew up with Lisa. She's a couple of years younger than me. She was almost like a friend. It was Elvis's daughter. We were protective of Lisa. We cared for her. We cared for Lisa, didn't we? Even when she was a child, a teenager, a young adult in her 20s and 30s, we always cared for her. And I think she knew it. I think Lisa knew that we cared. Karen, so sad, just shows what. Let's have a look. Yeah, I love their song. I love their duets. Absolutely. They make me cry. The duets with Elvis and Lisa, they make me want to tear up. Let's have a look. After she'd grown exceedingly frustrated. Oh no, hang on. And yet she felt a burning desire to tell it. After she'd grown exceedingly frustrated, she said to me, Pookie, I don't know how to write my book anymore. Can you write it with me? I didn't know she was called Pookie. Did you guys know that? She was called Pookie. Of course I can, I said. The last 10 years of her... Let me just sit this way, a bit more comfortable this way, I think. I think I'm going to sit this way. It's a bit more comfortable. The last 10 years of her life had been so brutally hard that she was only able to look back on everything. Unfortunately, that's true, isn't it, guys? She had a very complicated life. And through that lens, she felt I could have a more holistic view on her life than she could. So I agreed to help her with it, not thinking much of the commitment, assuming that we would write it together over time. A month later, she died. And that is a real standout point there, because I honestly don't think that Lisa Marie had any idea that she was going to get so unwell and pass away, die. I really think that she highly respected Riley. You can tell that. We played this video the other day that she would follow Riley's fashion sense on how Riley dressed, you know, and when she made her own MTV style music videos, she would look at Riley with respect and go, oh yeah, I like that. So I can tell that she really looked up to Riley. Riley had blossomed into a very smart, beautiful, just ambitious, interesting person. And I think Lisa really admired her. So to then go on and say to her, please help me finish the book. There was no idea that Lisa was going to die. And even Riley, who was extremely close to her mother, not for a second do I think that Riley thought she was going to die. I'm talking about at the time when she asked her to help her finish the book. Yeah. Lisa's insecurities would have come through, but upbringing after Elvis passed the poor girl. How could she make sense of being literally thrown away into that cult after the sexual abuse allegations? Hi, Sherry. Do you know what? That is such a big comment, because I'm completely against Scientology. I think the fact that she was placed into Scientology so young. Does anyone know the age that Lisa went into Scientology? The fact that Priscilla did that to her. Some people say that Priscilla felt that Scientology was going to straighten Lisa out. I think it did more damage, a lot more damage. Now, I do think that Lisa grew to accept Scientology for a period. But as I said yesterday, it's all brainwashing. And from what I think it was Vincenzo said it to me, that by 2003, she knew she wanted out of Scientology. It was like, I'm not here anymore. I'm taking Riley and Benjamin with me. I'm out of here. And I think she never looked back. So, but I agree with you, Sherry. I agree. And I don't think she thought she was going to pass away. No, definitely not, Karen. Life would have been less complicated if she had a loving mother. Very, very true. And someone yesterday said, Tony, you're too good to me. Tony's bought me a coffee. Tony, you're too nice to me. Anyone that buys me a coffee, thank you very much. Tony, I send you love. I did message you, Tony. Did you get my message? I did give you a message saying we're live. Anyway, so let me just read that last comment. Scientology may have been better than living with her mother. Oh, God, that is an interesting point. Now, someone yesterday said to me, and I really liked the comment. I can't remember who said it. They said, wouldn't have it might have been Josie. Might have been Josie. They said to me, wouldn't it have been nice if Elvis got custody? I think it was Josie. Oh, well done. Thank you, Tony. Now, seriously, even to you guys, I'm going to say it to you guys because I thought that comment was so great. Imagine if Elvis got custody of Lisa when Priscilla demanded the divorce of end of 71, early 72. How many of you think that Lisa's life would have been completely different if Elvis got custody? Even Elvis would have lived longer. Brilliant comment. Yeah, I agree. Ayisa, I agree. Linda, it would have saved the sexual abuse, but she wouldn't have had the basic love and hugs that she deserved. Some of it. Yeah, from Scientology, I see that. Karen, it's disgusting. When my children lost their dad at the age of 9 and 6, I held them so close. I could feel their pain and just wanted to protect them. Oh, that is so sad. Oh, Karen, I don't think have you told me this before? I don't think so. Wow, Karen, I'm horrified that happened to you. Karen, oh, the worst ages as well, 9 and 6. Oh my God, do you know what? I'm so sad that happened to you and your kids, Karen, but obviously it's probably a long time ago, yeah? But oh God, big hugs to Karen, come on. Big hugs. And I have because of what my wife has just recovered from, I sort of imagined that scenario. So I understand it a bit. So Cherie, oh, absolutely. If Elvis hadn't passed away, Lisa would have had the love that she deserved. Come on, we can go into that world, can't we? If we go into a time machine, we travel back to 1972. Priscilla is in love with Mike Stone. She's made a decision that she's leaving because I don't care what anyone says. She left. She left. She's decided to let Elvis have custody. So Lisa's going to stay with Elvis. I'm not sure which home they were in. Does anyone know what home they were in at the time? Were they at Gracelands? Was it Circle G Ranch? What home were they living in when Priscilla said, I'm out of here? I'd like to know that because I don't actually know the answer to that. Now, so we've gone back in time. It's 1972. Priscilla's gone to go live with Mike Stone. We know that money-wise, they were all set up in an apartment, probably paid for by Elvis. Mike Stone was a karate champion. He was getting on with his life. He felt very lucky that she liked him because Mike Stone was quite an insecure man when it comes to his looks. So he was quite in awe of Priscilla. He put her on a pedestal. Felt very lucky that she liked him. Maybe that's the reason he did such a stupid thing and left his pregnant wife, Frances Stone. He also had a small girl. I'm always blown away that Mike Stone made that decision to leave Frances Stone. She's a beautiful woman. She was pregnant, so that tells me that they were probably still in love. But for some reason, this insecure karate champion, he had his head turned. He looked to Priscilla, couldn't believe that she liked him. She was a stunning, beautiful woman, yeah, especially in 1972, 1971. Some say they even met in 1970. We don't really know, do we? And so, as I said, Mike Stone, he's under her spell. I've always thought this. Mike Stone was under a spell. This spell was strong enough to leave his wife, to leave his pregnant wife, his child, his 4-year-old girl, uproot everything, end his marriage, and move in with Priscilla. It's crazy, crazy. I really would love him to show regret and to apologize, but he's not gonna. He's not gonna. Right. But let's carry on with our time travel trip, and then I'll read some of your comments, guys. So you think about it, guys. Lisa, beautiful Lisa, was only how old? 3 or 4, 2 or 3, between 2 and 4. Yeah, she stays living with Elvis. You imagine how different. Remember, she loved living with Elvis, her father. She loved wherever the home was. I know she loved Gracelands, but I think wherever Elvis was, she loved. Yeah, and she would have had the love of Elvis. I think Elvis would have made sure he spent as much time with her as possible. I think she would have gone on tour with him whenever she could, because Elvis still has bills to pay. He's got to get on with his life. He's at the early stages of his Vegas comeback around 71, 72. He's looking great at that time. The comeback at Vegas was a phenomenal, massive success. Massive comeback. The second biggest comeback in the world, except for the 68 comeback. Yeah, I just think Lisa, personally, this is just my selfish opinion, I think she would have liked it a lot more staying with Elvis. I don't think Lisa and Priscilla got on very well when they were very young. I think she would have been much happier. I think she would have been much better looked after. She wouldn't have been getting sent off to summer camps. The sexual abuse would have never happened. The being sent to Scientology would have never happened because Elvis couldn't stand them. He thought they were a bunch of cuckoos. I think they were just money-grabbing weirdos. That's what Elvis thought of Scientology. So everything would have been different. Everything would have been different if Elvis had had custody. Right, let me read your comments. I'm interested to know what you guys say. So, yeah, someone said it yesterday. I'm sure it was Josie. So, Cherie, absolutely. If Elvis hadn't passed away, Lisa would have had the love that she deserved, the poor girl. Yes, definite. Hard to bring kids up when one partner passed. My son's dad passed not even 7 years old. Oh God, I don't even like to think about it. Seriously, guys, I can't, because of what I've been through recently with my wife. I try to put it out of my head, but obviously I went through those thoughts over and over again for months, guys, for months. It's so hard, but you have to be there for your children. It was 23 years ago, but they went through it again when I lost my long-term partner and their father thing. Oh my God, you've had a tough time, Karen. I don't understand it. Life can be just so cruel. From what I remember, it happened backstage between Elvis and the dinner show. Hi, Kathy. And the evening show. She walked into his dressing room and said that she was leaving. Yeah, and many of you have told me about this. It's just horrible, isn't it? It's so harsh. Just, I would say cruel. I would say the way she left Elvis was cruel. It feels like revenge. I keep saying this, guys. It feels like revenge. You know, all those years through the 60s where she was upset because Elvis was off doing his movies, doing whatever he got up to. It's almost like this was all, right, time to get revenge. Here we go. She felt like she had the upper hand. And she really did get her revenge, didn't she, guys? Priscilla Bueller, Lisa not out of her bond of love. I believe it was another nail in Elvis's coffin, like a cruel get back in. I agree, Cherie. I agree. Let's have a look. I'm so sorry for, yeah. Let's all give Karen hugs, 100%. Kathy, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it? What a wicked thing to do, knowing he had a show to do. Does anyone know which home they were living in? I really would like to know. Yeah, Elvis knew. He knew about Scientology. He knew. So the fact that she eventually puts Lisa into Scientology, knowing that Elvis couldn't stand them, just makes it all more cruel. Hi, Nicola. Thank you for your support, Nicola. A few of you have messaged me with support. Very, very kind. So we've got even Nessa, who has his own Facebook page. He's been extremely supportive. Nessa, if you watch this live, thank you very much. You have been very kind to me. I really appreciate your support. You've been very good to me. And we've also got Patty Ann. Patty Ann, are you here, Patty? Thank you so much, Patty. You've been very, very kind to me. Thank you. A few of you have reached out with support, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Right, let's so she told him at his most vulnerable moment he had no choice to go on stage. It's a power move of viscous person taking someone down. Maybe Monaville Drive. Right, so it could have been Monaville Drive. That does make sense. Hi, Kate, you made it. You found us. Priscilla knew what she was doing, taking Lisa away. Elvis like that. I believe both Elvis and Lisa's lives would have been so different had they been allowed to stay together. Yes. So, Kate, just so you know, we are going through the preface, so the beginning of this book. We're treating the book as if we've just received it through the post. So, obviously, we want justice for Lisa Marie, so we're going to keep bringing up this book. We want justice for Lisa Marie. The sexual abuse allegations against, Michael Edwards. We want the authorities to question him and arrest him. This is what we want. We know it's allegations, but we believe it. We think it's true. So we want the authorities to question Priscilla as well, because she was in charge. So we want all this dealt with. We're going to mention it almost every video I do until something happens. That's all we can do. So that's why we're again going through this book. I'm reading the preface, so we're sort of commenting and reading sections to keep in line with YouTube's copyright policies. So welcome, Kate. I'm sure he was in Vegas performing when she did it. Yes. So you think she was either at the Monaville property or the Hillcrest property? Does anyone know? You're probably right, Kathy. Kate, you know I love it when you join, and I always love Kate's comments. Hi, Jean. Okay, right. Let's read a bit more. So in our imaginary world, where Elvis got custody of Lisa around 1972, we all agree Lisa would have been so much happier, and her life would have been completely different for the better. For the better. So sad that we can't change that. Anyway, days and weeks and months of grief drifted by. Then I got the tapes of the memoir interviews that she'd done. I remember 16 tapes, and she has already said listening to those tapes at first was very awkward, but then it felt like a phone call with Lisa. Could you imagine that? I'm so pleased that Lisa did these tapes. I'm so pleased. It must have been lovely for the twins, Finley and Harper, and of course for Riley. It's exactly why we're reading this book. I was in my house sitting on the couch. My daughter was sleeping. I was so afraid to hear my mother's voice. The physical connection we had to the voices of our loved ones is profound. Ugh. I know how that feels, yeah? So a mother has passed. The tape, she's got the tapes. And then she hears Lisa's voice. Oh, God. I find that beautiful. Now, obviously I lost my father. I know that me and my father had our differences, but I still would love to hear his voice again. I would love to hear my father's voice again. Come on, we love the sound of our parents' voice, don't we? We remember that tone, that feeling. I completely understand what she's saying. Many of us here have lost our parents or one of our parents. Very sad. I was so afraid to hear my mother's voice. The physical connection we have to the voices of our loved ones is profound. I decided to lie in my bed because I know how grief makes my body feel. I began listening to her speak. It was incredibly painful, but I couldn't stop. It was like she was in the room. Oh, God, guys. This is quite difficult. It was like she was in the room talking to me. I instantly felt like a child again. Oh, my God. I burst into tears. Oh, my God. I need to calm myself. Now, the standout bit of that really connects with me is when she says, God, I don't know if I can say it. Let me just get the actual bit. I'm going to read the whole bit because I think it's important. My daughter was sleeping. I was so afraid to hear my mother's voice. The physical connection we had to those voices of our loved ones is profound. I decided to lie in bed because I know how heavy grief makes my body feel. I began listening to her speak. It was incredibly painful, but I couldn't stop. It was like she was in the room talking to me. I instantly felt like a child again and burst into tears. Oh, come on, guys. If any of us were listening to our parents, especially us that have lost them, you would feel like a child again. It would take you back, wouldn't it? Very sad. Very, very sad. Very emotional. Heartbreaking. So, oh God, right. So emotional. I wouldn't give to see my dad again. Oh God, you're gonna make me cry, Kate. All right, Linda. We're gonna see you later, Linda. Oh, yes, right. I'm gonna warm up that other coffee, and then we're gonna carry on reading, guys. But I know this is quite upsetting and very emotional, but I also think it's beautiful as well. There's something beautiful about I think we're feeling a connection here to Riley and to Lisa, because we are getting an insider's very personal view on, Riley's insider personal feelings on how she felt listening to Lisa's tapes, and she's trying to put it in writing in these books. So I almost feel like a fly on the wall just on this little section here. So I feel honored that we're able to do this, honestly, guys. Right, I'm just going to warm that coffee up. We must have hot coffee. Right. Okay, let's get the coffee. Right, so calm myself down. I can tell this is going to be quite an emotional live stream, guys, but it's okay. It's okay. Right. So, you know, we've got a new style of reading now. I'm quite enjoying it, actually. We are reading a section. I can hear it's like a dog trying to get in. We're reading a section and then we're speaking about it, talking about it. Okay. So I instantly felt like a child again and burst into tears. My mummy, the tone of her voice. I was 8 years old, riding in our car. Van Morrison's Brown Eyed Girl, love that song. I'm not going to sing it to you guys. Came on the radio and my dad pulled over and made us all get out to dance on the side of the road. Love that, love that. I thought of my mum's beautiful smile, and she had the best smile, guys. She had her laugh. She had the best laugh. We all know that. I love watching these. So when I watch her interviews, I love them. Love them, love them, love them. I thought of my dad trying to resuscitate her lifeless body when he found her. So we know about this, don't we, guys? Wasn't it the cleaner first, and then Danny tried as well? Then I was back in my car seat watching my mum's face in the rear view mirror as she sang along to Aretha Franklin. Oh, you have to work, I love you.
I'm back in an hour. Love you, bye.
Bye. My wife does an act, just pops to a school 1 hour a day. She's with Yasmin and Tino, and she doesn't do it for the money. She just likes to go there. She likes to see the kids. She likes to see Yasmin and Tino, and she's made a lot of friends with the other teachers, the other staff at the school. So she looks forward to going there, and it takes her mind off what she's been through. Yeah, so she's heavily wrapping presents at the moment. Let's have a look. So then I was back in the car seat watching my mum's face in the rearview mirror as she sang along to Aretha Franklin, our car barreling down the Pacific Coast Highway with the windows open. Then I was in the hospital right after my new baby was born, bombarded by memories like corny flashback montage in a movie, but real. I wanted her back. It's actually quite interesting, this, right? I just want to check your comments. What we are reading now helps us go through the pain that we're not alone. Thank you, Jean. I agree. Ayisa, when children around, that's our duties begin. Love them, nurture them, try to give everything we can afford. Why Priscilla is such a B to Lisa? Well, you guys are telling me that Priscilla was very jealous of Lisa. Thanks for that comment, Ayisa. I think she was as well. I think Priscilla was jealous of Lisa. Don't forget, Lisa grew into an even more beautiful woman, didn't she? And she had the personality to back it up. And she was Elvis's daughter, which I think made Priscilla jealous. Just my opinion, guys. Kate, mine were as well, but I'm just trying to hide it, Kate. We're all trying to stop ourselves crying through that little bit, that little section. I'm sure there'll be more to come. What we are reading, that's right, Cherie. She didn't even want to be pregnant. She resented her before she was even born. And I've read this so many times, Kathy. I don't think she ever really bonded with Lisa right from finding out that she was pregnant. Cherie, I'm like, again, I keep reading that. And isn't it in the book? Doesn't it sort of hint on that? Isn't there even in Priscilla's book, it gives that impression. And I think even is it the Kurt Russell movie, or was it the other one, the TV melodrama? You get a sense of that as well, don't you? I think it was 1988 or something. So Carolyn Wright Cherie, she admitted that she didn't want to be a mother. Yeah. Now, the impression I get is that she always wanted to get pregnant. She wanted Elvis. Yeah. But once it happened, she then realized, oh, I won't be able to go on tour. I won't be able to be always with Elvis. Elvis will be going away a lot. I'll be at home a lot, of course, because she's got a baby to bring up. I think that she saw becoming pregnant as a way of losing Elvis, as a way of trapping her in the house. Also, she was scared she was going to put on weight. We've all heard the stories that she was eating cucumbers every day, etc. We've also heard the stories about falling off the horse to miscarry. You know, there's so many things that we hear. And I actually think it does seem to me that, you know, I don't know, I wasn't there. It does seem to me that once Priscilla found out she was pregnant, it was not a happy time for her. I think it was for Elvis. Even this story that Elvis asked for a separation during the pregnancy, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I think it's bullshit. I think it's another one of Priscilla's bullshit lies. You know, some of you are going to disagree with me. I just don't believe that Elvis said to her, I'm going to leave you when you're pregnant. That isn't the Elvis I know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel. Right, let's keep going. The early parts of the book are mostly her voice. In the tapes, she speaks at length about her Graceland childhood, the death of her father, the dreadful aftermath of her relationship with her mother, her difficult teen years. She's frank and funny about my father, Danny Q. She talks openly about her relationship with Michael Jackson. She's painfully candid about her later drug addiction and about the perils of fame. And she really did pour her heart out, didn't she? She didn't hold back. And I keep saying this over and over again. She wanted us to know the gory bits. She said some good stuff. She wanted us to know the bad stuff. Why did she want us to know the bad stuff? Because she wants the world to know. She wants her family to know. She wants the Elvis fans to know. In my opinion, she wants the disgusting abuse of Michael Edwards. I know it's alleged. She wants that dealt with. She doesn't want that man to get away with what he did to her through those years at the hands of Priscilla and Michael Edwards. They are both responsible. Even though allegedly Michael Edwards committed the sexual abuse, which could have gone on for years, Priscilla is also responsible because she is the parent. Priscilla is the reason Lisa was living with Michael Edwards. Priscilla. So she is fully responsible, equally with Michael Edwards. So Priscilla, if you ever watch our show, you are equally responsible for the damage done to poor Lisa from Michael Edwards and you. I know it's alleged, so I'll say it's just an opinion for entertainment purposes. This is an entertainment program, but you both need to be questioned by the authorities. And I think definitely Michael Edwards should be facing a prison sentence. And I think even you yourself, you should be in trouble for what happened to poor Lisa, Elvis's only daughter. It's disgusting what happened to that girl. Disgusting. And I think you're in complete denial. I think you are in complete denial of the damage that you have done to that Lisa that harmed her for 40, 50 years. And you palm it off and try and blame it on the fact that when she was a teenager, she was a rebellious child. You use that as your excuse to discuss the whole of Lisa's life. I think it's so cruel for a mother to do that. I don't think a mother any mother should put down their children, should speak negatively about their own children. I just don't think they should. I think, especially if you're a famous celebrity mother, I think the way you spoke about, I'm addressing Priscilla, the way you spoke about poor Lisa Marie at the Graceland book signing is disgusting. It's disgusting. Yeah. The way that in that interview when you were still with Navarone and you giggled and said, I love her to death, but come on, she says things she regrets. It's disgusting. And then you giggled, both of you. Your poor daughter has only been dead a couple of years. Come on. It's disgusting. And not really acknowledging this book. Priscilla doesn't acknowledge this book. She doesn't acknowledge it. If anyone questions her about this book, she passes over the topic as quick as possible. You look at any, guys, you look at any interview that Priscilla's in where she's questioned, and if this book is brought up, she changes the subject. She very, very quickly says something like, oh, yes, 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 and then moves on. I'm telling you guys, in my opinion, she's completely against this book. She's gutted this book was written. She's gutted that Riley was asked to finish it, and she's also gutted that Riley made the decision to finish it so quick, that Riley made the decision to not allow Priscilla to have any say in this book. Of course, we all know Riley chose a picture that Priscilla was in and removed Priscilla from the picture. Says it all. That speaks volumes. And anyone that tells me that Riley and Priscilla are really close, I don't believe you. I don't agree with you. I don't think it's true. I don't think they're really close. I think it's bullshit. Just my opinion, guys. Right. Let's have a look. So where are we, guys? So there are times too when it sounds like she wants to burn the world to the ground. Other times she displays compassion and empathy, all facets of the woman who was my mother. Each of those strands, beautiful and broken and forged together in early trauma, crashing together at the end of her life. I just want to say, anyone join? Obviously, a lot of you are in America. You're just waking up. Anyone joining us and watching this live stream on the replay, which many of you do, good morning. I hope you had a good night's sleep. I hope you enjoy our live stream. But you are late. So let's just quickly remind people that we're live. And I'm only going to send it on 3 things. Sue, are you here? I can see that you've been on the chat. Sue, are you here? Let's have a look. Where are we? Let me just go on to the Defending Elvis Facebook page. And guys, if you want to get on the Defending Elvis Facebook page, we have a chat on there as well. Let me just show it you. You click the chat button and that will help. And then you can join in and meet all of us, chat with us, exchange pictures and videos and information, and just get to know each other. I can see, right, okay. Oh, is that a new interview? Someone's posted an interview on there. I might watch that later. I think it was Elaine. Right, anyway, so let me just, so you click on the word chat and you're in the chat, guys. You're in the chat. So let me just write that we're live. Okay. So I'm just seeing, okay, right. No, I think I'll post it on my name as well. Just, come on, the more of us that come together, the better in it, I think. I think it is. So obviously my name, on my name. Right, okay. Right, guys. So in case you've just joined us, I am going through all these books bit by bit. We're gonna go through them in a different way. We're going to read small sections and we're going to comment, and that way we are within copyright laws with YouTube, because I have had an email from YouTube telling me to. So of course we're going through the book From Here to the Great Unknown, Lisa Marie and Riley's beautiful book. We're reading the preface at the moment. So let's just read the end of that bit there. She displays compassion and empathy, all facets of the woman who was my mother. Each of those strands, beautiful and broken, forged together in early trauma, crashing together at the end of her life. The tapes are raw, with all the starts and stops that people have been, the starts and stops that people have when they speak. Wherever possible, I wrote it exactly as she said it. I wrote it exactly as she said it. In other cases, I edited my mother's words for clarity or to get at what I know was the root of what she was trying to convey. What mattered most to me was feeling like the end result sounded like her, and that I could instantly recognize her in the pages, and I can. I like that. And I do, you know, we've gone through a lot of this book together, but I'm redoing it, yeah? Because I think we were up to chapter 9, but we're re-going through this. First of all, so that we can make sure that it doesn't get deleted from YouTube. But so I don't know if you know this, guys. I've deleted the ones I've already done have been deleted because I want to stay within the rules of YouTube. But I prefer this because I think instead of just reading it word for word, I think we're getting a better sense of Lisa's personality and Riley's personality. And the other thing is, I really love what Riley has just said. She wanted to make sure that the end result of this book, once it's finished, felt like it was coming from Lisa's tapes, from Lisa's heart, how Lisa thought about things. Yeah. And she basically has confirmed here that she felt she did a good job of getting Lisa's personality across to us, the fans, the non-fans, the world. Yeah. And when I've read it with you guys, I do get that feeling that I do when I'm listening to Lisa. I do get the feeling I'm listening to Lisa. When I'm listening to Riley, I do get the feeling I'm listening to Riley. So I think it's important. I hope you got yourself a coffee, guys. But there are things that she doesn't talk about in the tapes, things that she didn't get to, especially in the later part of her life. We saw each other 5 times a week throughout my life, and we lived together full time until I was 25. I didn't know that. So they lived together till she was 25. Don't forget, Riley, she's got a buzzing career here. If you go on YouTube, you'll find many YouTube clips and TikTok and Instagram of Riley doing her modeling. She's just a teenager, yeah? So by 25, she was quite a seasoned model, actress. I think she had done acting by 25. I don't know. I think she did. So where there are gaps in her story, I fill them in. Obviously, we know if you go through the book, you have, where are they? Let me just see if I can find one. You've got these marks, see the little circular marks. We'll discuss them later, but they're very relevant to this book. I'm pretty sure they had matching tattoos, didn't they, on their feet, Benjamin and Lisa. Yeah. So let's keep going. The greatest strength for this aspect of the book was also one of my mother's biggest flaws. She was constitutionally incapable of hiding anything from me. I believe that. I believe that. She did wear a heart on her sleeve, didn't she? And she said what she thought. If she thought something, it came out. It came out. That's definitely true about Lisa. I hope that in telling her story, my mother will resolve into a three-dimensional character, into the woman that we knew and loved so dearly. I've come to understand that her burning love desire, let me just say that again, that her burning desire to tell her story was born of a need to both understand herself and understand by others, and to be understood by others in full. Now, I want to comment on that. I'll say it again and I'm going to comment on it. I've come to understand that her burning desire to tell her story was born of need to both understand herself and to be understood. So if anyone now asks me the question, why did Lisa write a book? Yeah, we know the answer. She had a burning desire to be understood. She had a burning desire to understand her life. Brilliant. And do you know what? Now that we are sort of outsiders looking back through her life, you know, right from her childhood, right to the day she died, I think we are starting to understand. We're starting to understand, obviously, the different marriages as well, her involvement with Graceland and Elvis Presley Enterprises. Hello. I think we do, as Elvis fans, I think we do get a good feel for Lisa. I think we do. I think we sort of almost feel like we're related to her, don't we? So we have I do think we do. This does help us understand. It definitely, it gives us an insider look into something that really we were guessing. We were guessing how things were behind the scenes. You read this, you get a real, I think you get a connection to Lisa and Riley, definitely. I aim not only to honor my mother, but to tell a human story in what I know is extraordinary circumstances. Of course, Elvis's daughter. Don't forget, to Lisa, Elvis was dad. Yeah. And it is an extraordinary story. I mean, the pressures Lisa was under being Elvis's only daughter. Because let's face it, guys, the whole world, whether you're a fan or not, the whole world, especially in the 70s and 80s, was watching Lisa to see what would happen with her life. They were watching Priscilla as well. I think some of the people that watched Priscilla were quite fanatical about her. I don't think the public knew that Priscilla had this very brutal, quite nasty, very selfish side to her. I think the world had been tricked. I know I have to do it, guys. I have to bring up by this book, this fake narrative, this book of lies, the rewriting of history to make Priscilla look like a victim, Elvis look like the bad guy. I think many of the people in the world, including Elvis fans in the 70s and 80s, have been tricked into that fake fairy tale. So this book, to me, starts to give the public a better understanding of that Priscilla can be a nasty piece of work. Has done some serious wrongdoing to Elvis and to Lisa and to Riley and now even to the twins. So really, isn't this the first proper thing that really speaks truth? Now we know, obviously, let me get the book. Of course, we know there's an alternative reality in this book here about about Priscilla Presley. We know that. But this book, we know this is truth. This is a mixture of truth and facts and untruths. And I'm not completely convinced with this book. I think there's a lot of things in this book. Don't forget, there's many things in this book that makes Elvis look bad. It's not all good. if you dislike Priscilla, this book and yes, this book will help you. But because we love Elvis, you'll be upset with many things in this book. But my point is, guys, this to me is about as truthful as you're ever going to get. It's about as honest as you're ever going to get. And the life that Lisa was born into, being Elvis's only daughter, it was extraordinary. It was extraordinary. Even Priscilla, she isn't a normal personality. The way that Priscilla treated Elvis and put herself first and had these massive career aspirations for, whatever, modeling, acting, opening a shop, fame, fortune, TV, men, because I really believe that Priscilla was a real manhunter. This isn't your standard mum. This isn't your standard mum. Not all celebrity wives want to be in the spotlight, want to have fame, want to have all this attention, want to make movies, do TV, do modeling. Not all of them do that. Lisa, her mum did. Her mum did. And the problem is the person who lost out the most because her mum was so ambitious was Lisa. The person who lost out the most because her mum fancied the pants off many men. Yeah. And took drugs, isn't it? It's clearly said that she took cocaine, had cocaine parties with Michael Edwards. He says it in his book, doesn't he? For entertainment purposes, in my opinion. The fact that Priscilla wanted to chase after men seriously impacted on Lisa's life. Lisa came last. Lisa came last. Lisa came last. You watch the early interviews of Priscilla in the early 80s, late 70s. And Priscilla comes across in a way where she is very protective and, I'm very strict with Lisa. Priscilla comes across in the early interviews. I would never write a book. I just want to do the right thing for Lisa. Lisa comes first. You really get a feeling for that in those very early interviews. But I don't know what happened. But by the time this book is released, obviously we know this was a massive bestseller, and this book is a con. It tricked the world into thinking that Priscilla was a victim. So by the time this book comes out and it's a bestseller, there is a complete change in Priscilla. You watch Priscilla in those very early interviews. She is completely different than the Priscilla who released this book. There was a massive change. I do want fame. I do want spotlight. I do want to be an actress. I want to be on TV. I want to be in movies. I want to be a business entrepreneur. I love the spotlight. I love being interviewed. There was a big change, guys. And that big change is, I think, what led to her sending her off on summer camps, sending her to Scientology, leaving her with people like Michael Edwards, who abused her, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes. So in the end, Priscilla put in Lisa last. Damaged everything. But there was something, I don't know when, don't know what year, maybe 81. There was a changing moment, maybe not a moment, a changing time where Priscilla evolved into this different person. Almost like a character out of Dallas, I repeat. Almost like a character out of Dallas. There was just something changed. Maybe, who knows why? The men, Robert Kardashian, the different men she met, maybe, who knows if drugs were part of it? I don't know. Scientology. I don't know, guys. She had a taste for money, for success, for being in the spotlight. She wanted to be like Elvis. She wanted to be Elvis. And when you watch the different, when the press are chasing her around trying to take pictures, she acts like Elvis. Oh, yeah. I'm busy, I'm sorry, guys, It's all very, wow, I'm famous. And she's had that kind of adulation for bloody 40 odd years, which really annoys me because she doesn't deserve it. Priscilla does not deserve the attention and the spotlight that she gets from not just the public, but and from other, from the news companies, the interviewers, but also from the Priscilla fans. Yeah, they treat her like she's some kind of god. These are supposed to be Elvis fans, because I've always said this: the Priscilla fans are Elvis fans, aren't they? Firstly, they're Elvis fans, but they've been tricked and conned and brainwashed by this book, this fairy tale, and now they chase Priscilla around like she's some kind of god, like she is Elvis. It doesn't make sense. The world's gone mad. Doesn't make sense, guys. Right. Even now, today, I watched her being chased yesterday by the press and by fans. It just doesn't make sense, guys. We know the wrongdoing that Priscilla has done to Elvis for over 40 years. This disgusting book she wrote. We know how Lisa was treated. We know at the hands of Priscilla and Michael Edwards that poor Lisa was sexually abused. We know it, don't we, guys? For entertainment purposes, our opinions. But she still worshipped. She still worshipped. Even when she walked into the book signing event at Gracelands, with Riley Keough promoting this lovely book. They all stood up and gave her a round of applause. They were all cheering as if God had walked in the room, as if Elvis had walked in the room. Doesn't make sense. I don't get it. This book has told the world the wrongdoing of Priscilla, but she's still being treated like some kind of Elvis. Doesn't add up. The world's gone mad. Right. The tapes are raw, with all the starts and stops that people have when they speak, wherever possible. I wrote it exactly as she said it. In other cases, I've edited my mother's words for clarity or to get at what I know was the root of what she was trying to convey. What mattered most to me was feeling like the end result sounded like her, that I could constantly recognize her in the pages, and I can. I know I've already read that, but I'm glad I've read it again. But there are things that she doesn't talk about in the tapes, things that she didn't get to, especially in the later part of her life. We saw each other 5 times a week throughout my life. I didn't know that. I didn't know they saw each other that often. 5 times a week. I didn't know that. And we lived together full time until I was 25. Okay, I've already read that, but I'm taking it in now. Where there are gaps in her story, I fill them in. The greatest strength of aspect of the book was also one of my mother's biggest flaws. She was constitutionally incapable of hiding anything. I know I've already read it, but I'm glad I'm reading it again. I hope that I'm telling her story. My mother will resolve into a 3-dimensional character, into a woman we knew and loved so dearly. I come to understand that her burning desire to tell her story was born of a need to both understand herself and be understood by others in full. And for the first time in her life, I aim not only to honor my mother, but to tell the human story of what I know is an extraordinary circumstances. Beautiful. Beautiful, guys. Everyone who ever met her experienced a force, a passion, protection, loyalty, love, and a deep engagement with a spirit that was incredibly powerful. Whatever spiritual force my grandfather possessed undoubtedly ran through my mother's veins. Definite. One of the most common things that are said to me is just how alike they were. Yeah, do we agree, guys? You completely knew that Lisa was Elvis's daughter, and she couldn't have hid it even if she wanted to. It was like a female reincarnation of Elvis. They were just so alike. It's like unbelievable how alike they were. I'm aware that the recordings my mother left are a gift. They definitely are. 16 tapes. And then, you know, some of you guys say that there's still stuff that has been left out to come. So we'll see. Watch this space, isn't it? So often, all that's left of a loved one is a saved or resaved voicemail, a short video on the phone, some favorite photos. This is beautiful, this bit. I take the privilege of these tapes very seriously. I wanted this book to be an intimate as well as those hours I spent listening to her. And can you imagine it, guys? She sat there, listening to her poor mother who's passed for probably hundreds of hours. The twins would have listened as well, Finley and Harper. Very, very special, I think. Very, very special. She'd spend in bed with us listening to coyotes howl. Let me read that bit again. I wanted this book to be as intimate as all those hours I spent listening to her, like the nights she'd spend in bed with us listening to the coyotes howl. In his poem, Binsey Poplars Felled, 1879, Gerard Manley Hopkins writes of that set of chopped down trees after comers cannot guess the beauty queen. I want this book to make clear the beauty that was my mother. Brilliant, brilliant preface. So obviously we're going to go on to chapter 1, not now. So we're going to find a way of reading chapter 1 and breaking it down. And they're not long chapters, really, are they? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, this one is, but generally the chapters aren't that long. Now this is a really long chapter, so we're probably going to do chapter 1 in stages. I'm just going through. My God, that can't be right. Yeah, chapter 1 is really long, so I have read it before. I've read it more than once. I didn't remember that it was that long. Chapter 1 is 44 pages. That's a lot. I'm not going to do 44 pages of reading. What I'll do is I'll probably read about 5 pages at a time. We'll probably, maybe 10. We'll break it down. We'll comment. We'll discuss it. And we're going to do it gradually, guys. Obviously, I want to go through all the other books, but we've got all the time in the world. Okay, let me just check your comments then. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to read your comments, guys, and I'm going to go for a run, walk the dogs, usual stuff that I do. Okay, right. I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that. So let's have a look. I can't read them all, guys, because I don't have enough time, but I'm going to try and rush through them. Jean, we send you love, Jean. We send you love. I'll pray, Jean, we will all pray for you. We will all pray for you. So there's a response to Kathy. Kathy, if there's psychological post-traumatic suffering, they won't deal with it. Just keep going. My son looks after my granddaughter when she's ill because her mum gets easily upset and has a short temper. I will pray. Yeah, we're going to pray for you, Jean. God. Life can be tough, can't it, guys? Life can be tough. I can see that everyone's supporting you here, Jean. It's lovely. Thanks, everyone. We're all giving you hugs and love. So Karen says it tells, yeah, because Lisa tells some home truths about Priscilla in her book. That's why Priscilla doesn't mention it. Yeah. Priscilla doesn't want that book to exist. I really believe that. I think that book is a thorn in Priscilla's side. So Jean is thanking you guys. That is why I love this channel. I feel I'm not the only one in the world who has been through difficulties in their lives. Thank you for all the inspiration. Oh, Team Elvis, come on. Team Elvis, we have, all of us. We've had some tough times, haven't we, guys? But we stay strong and we support, and we do support each other. I really believe that. You know, obviously, we all know what this channel has gone through and is still going through. But we stay strong, don't we, guys? We stick together. We've got to know each other. We're a small family that's growing. It's as simple as that. And we all have something in common. We love Elvis and the bloodline. Elvis, Lisa, and the bloodline. So kind of you. Sherry, I've got loads of health problems, but my granddaughter 4 days a week to give her emotional attention she needs and play with her. Oh, that's lovely. You're very fortunate, Sherry. So Kate says, yes, Caroline, if she did think that, what a shock it has been. Sad that her money and power is making the media brush it under the rug. I'm shocked the way society that they're letting her get away with it. I am as well. Caroline, I am as well. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. I don't know. How can something so serious be alleged about Michael Edwards? And then I don't get it. Even the news companies, they didn't cover it properly. There was some news clips on the on Google and Safari, etc. But no one really, nothing major has been done to really push for Michael Edwards to be arrested or questioned. Nothing. Literally nothing. I don't know why. I can't figure it out. Any other celebrity, they would have. So I just don't understand it. I just feel so sorry for Lisa that her abuser has not been arrested and tracked down and arrested and put on trial. It just doesn't add up. So Kathy says she doesn't think she was ambitious, just greedy. I don't agree. I think she was bloody ambitious. She 100%, I do agree with the greedy bit. I think Priscilla is one of the most ambitious people I've ever known. She's still doing it now. So I say that with respect, Kathy. You know I love you. Kate, that was my thought after reading Lisa's book. She finally was able to call out her mother and help her father's reputation. Yes. Yes, definitely, Carolyn. 100%. No, it was Elvis by the Presleys, but it has a new memoir. Let's have a look. Yeah, at the book signing, the applause was louder than your shows you write there. What type of person is she? I don't get it. The way a few of the people that join us on this show were there, and they said they couldn't believe just how she was given a lot of love for being there. It just doesn't make sense. The book hadn't even been out long. The negative, disgusting things that were said about the truthful things that were said that are disgusting about Michael Edwards and Priscilla's parenting. And they're all there giving her applause and standing ovation. I don't get it. It doesn't fit in my brain. I know that was disgusting, and it shows what sort of a woman Priscilla is. Yeah. Yes, and then Priscilla, when she's in the book signing event, Riley's book signing event, spends the next half hour slagging off her own daughter and Michael Jackson. Just, you couldn't make it up, could you guys? It's disgusting. Hi, Josie. Priscilla life has all been about competing with others. Didn't her mother have her then baby shows, and even quit her job to make sure she won them all. I don't really know about that, but I'd like to learn more about it. So guys, we've done a whole show and we've had no one join in with so we've had a good show, guys. Let's have a look. I love how rereading the book and we can point out differences and better understanding about it. Yeah, Jean, we are gonna, it's a new thing with Team Elvis as we go through all these books, and I am gonna read, come on, this has been our favorite book. Let me show you. I'm going to carry on reading this from chapter 10. Where are we? Chapter 11 we're on. But we're going to do it in small bits and we're going to break it down. We're going to analyze it. So don't think I'm going to stop reading. Same goes the other book that was very popular was this book, Inside Gracelands. And we were up to page 45 on this one. We're going to keep reading it. This was excellent. This is the maid, Elvis's maid, Nancy Brooks, but we're going to change how we do it. We can't just read it. We're going to one bit talk. Well, we're going to read, guys. I'm still going to be the reader, but we're going to do it so that we don't get in trouble. I enjoy reading to you guys anyway, because we don't just read, we read and chat, don't we? Come on, let's face it, guys. Priscilla didn't want to live the life of Elvis, his wife, but now she's sure making up for it. Always about her, and she was a widow. And so true, Nicola. Come on, guys. She left him. I've heard it was the end of 71. I know many say it was 72. I've heard it was 71. I think Vincenzo told us that she actually demanded a divorce in 72 in February and was out in March 72. Personally, I think the moment she left, demanded the divorce, packed the bags, took Lisa with her, unfortunately, it was all over. Everything was all over. I'm on about the marriage. But we now, as fans, are trying to pick up the pieces where Priscilla is still really demanding to be buried at the meditation garden. Still going on to different news interviews, demanding that she still loves Elvis and that Elvis is the love of her life. It just doesn't add up, guys. It doesn't add up. The whole thing is bizarre. We all know that Elvis is not the love of her life. The whole thing is a big con. The whole thing is a trick. And unfortunately, half of the world still believe it. You'll be very surprised just how many people believe that Priscilla is the love of Elvis's life. Many Priscilla fans will say that Priscilla has always loved Elvis, still does. They will also say that Elvis, even to the day he died, still loved and wanted to be with Priscilla. They will even say that if Elvis had lived longer, that Elvis would have got back with Priscilla. This is how ridiculous it is. This is just how far from the truth some of the general public are. And the Priscilla fans will believe that as well. The Priscilla fans think the only reason that Elvis and Priscilla split up was because Elvis had been unfaithful. They really believe that. Seriously, guys. And you try and tell them different. This is non-Elvis fans as well. It just doesn't add up, guys. Billy Smith said Elvis would not want her to be buried there in the meditation garden. Of course not. Hi, Josie. Hi, Finola. Of course not. Why would any man forget fame, forget the fact they live in a mansion? Why would any man want to be buried to a woman that he divorced more or less 5 years before he died? Yeah? A woman that had big affairs with other men. Elvis had completely moved on. Obviously, we know about Linda Thompson. I really like Linda, but I know views are complicated. Now, what I'm trying to say is, come on, even me, if my wife was really unfaithful and went on and lived with other men, and I went on with my life and lived with a different girl, and we had other children, and we've divorced, why would I be buried next to her? It doesn't make any sense. We want to be buried with our children. We don't want to be buried with our ex-wives. Crazy. You were okay at the funeral now arranged after Christmas. We're not celebrating Christmas though. Just a little dinner to remember his mum and rise the club. Okay, Nicola. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go for a little run, walk the dogs, do a bit of weightlifting. Got to keep myself slim. I'm getting old, 57. Got to keep myself slim. Anyway, slim and strong. So I wish you all love. I can't give a time I'm going to be back on. I'm not sure. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to start going through chapter 1 of From Here to the Great Unknown. We will keep demanding justice for Lisa Marie. Of course, we want Michael Edwards arrested and questioned. We're going to say it every day, but we are going to go through the other books and we're going to find lots of other topics. That's it, guys. I've really enjoyed it. I've had a lovely time just sat here with you guys, drinking my coffee. I find it very relaxing. Of course, as always, if you like what I do, get us a coffee, hit the super thank you. If you want to be a member, the member's only $1 a month. It's nothing. Subscribe and like, and we'll be back for more, guys. Thank you to everyone. And special thank you for Tony for sending me a super thank you. Goodbye, guys. Love to all of you. Take care. We will be back later. See you later, alligators.